All right, you know what time it is. Live from the Bare Muscle Garage, it's time for Fit Crew. What do we got in store for you today? Let's go ahead and share this on screen. So today we are turning your world upside down. We've got some handstand push-ups and we've got some power snatches. And this is definitely going to be a sprint of a workout, looking to knock this out pretty quick. But we may be looking at this thinking, handstand push-ups, that's kind of crazy. Why do we even do this? Don't worry, guys. As always, we're going to warm up really well, go through some skill building, and we're going to give you all the options that will allow you to do this workout or your version of it, right where you are, using what you have and doing what you can. But let's go ahead and start this general warm-up. Here we go. Let's get some arm circles going back, arm circles back. And as you know, my name is Coach Chris. I am a level 3 CrossFit trainer, which means I've logged thousands of hours over many years, helping many people just like you do things they never thought possible through health and fitness. Let's move on to arms across the chest. Hug yourself, love yourself. And doing the impossible really just comes down to having the right motivation. Why am I doing this? Why do I need fitness in my life? Why do I need to try hard things? Let's go ahead and move on to the wrist wave here. And understanding our why, and to be quite honest, really digging deep and coming up with a really good why. That's what's going to help us to be disciplined and dedicated and motivated to try new things, to step outside our comfort zone, and to do things we never thought possible. Let's go ahead and move on to some high knees. High knees into chest, or if it works better, we can do some high elbows like this. And so when we uncover our true why, which has to do with who we are as a people, who am I? Why do I need my fitness? How is fitness going to enrich my life? How is fitness going to improve the lives of those who are most important to me, in my family, in my circle, or whatever the case? Let's go ahead and move on to some calf raises. Up on the toe, back on the heel, up on the toe, back on the heel. Or if it works better, we can do some wrist extensions like this. And really digging deep and answering these questions will help us to have a true motivation tied to our fitness identity. And this is much more powerful than a goal weight or a goal outfit that we want to fit into. These things aren't wrong in and of themselves, but our true, deep-seated, long-term motivation needs to be deeper than that. Let's go ahead and move on to some jumping jacks. Or we could do some stepping jacks if we want low impact. And so, who am I? Why do I need fitness? Why am I doing burpees? Why am I doing handstands? Why am I doing any of this stuff? When we dig deep and uncover how this program gives us a sense of accomplishment, that's what's going to help us to attack each day with real purpose and definitely do what is necessary to become the version of ourselves that we're trying to be. Let's go ahead and take a break from this general warm-up, guys, and we're going to move on to the activation phase, which is where we're going to do a couple different moves that are going to help us to get specifically ready for today's workout. So the first move we're going to do is bird dogs, and you already know who we're going to have demonstrate these. And if we are doing these from the seated position, then the bird dogs are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 bird dogs together. Now it could be that this is a bit hard on the wrists and the knees, in which case we may choose to do the dead bug. And let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate the dead bug for us. That's going to be where we're laying on the back. We got the arms up, knees up, and we are lowering opposite arm, opposite leg. But if we're doing this as prescribed, we are on hands and knees, and we are raising opposite arm, opposite leg, holding the top there for about 2 seconds before switching sides. And so good job here on these bird dogs or dead bugs, whatever we choose to do. Next, we're going to do some push-ups, and let's go ahead and have Pippi demonstrate 2 push-ups for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then push-ups are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 push-ups together. Now, it could be that doing this off the ground is a bit of a challenge for us, in which case we may choose to do this off of an incline, just like we see Bird Dog doing here. We could do this off of a sofa, off a counter, or even off the wall, but we're going to get into a nice incline plank position with those feet all the way back. We are squeezing that core to make sure we have a nice straight back. And if we're doing this as prescribed off the ground, then we are making sure we are getting that chest all the way to the ground, taking a deep breath in, bracing that core, leading with the torso on the way up so that we're not snaking or worming these push-ups. And of course, if you prefer to call these press-ups, that is allowed as well. And so good job here on these push-ups or press-ups, whatever you prefer to call it. Next, we're going to do some walk the floors from the straddle position. Let's go ahead and have twin 1 demonstrate 1 rep of the straddle walk the floor for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the walk the floor is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 5 reps of the straddle walk the floor together. Now, it could be that getting all the way down, chest to the ground, is a challenge for us, especially if we were just doing incline push-ups, in which case we can modify this in a couple of different ways. Let's have twin 1 demonstrate here doing a straddle walk the floor, going out to the plank position. So we're going to walk out to that plank, walk it back, and then clap overhead. Or we could do this off of an incline. So we're going to get to that same sofa or counter or whatever the case, and then we're going to take a couple steps back and then a couple steps forward, and then we clap overhead. But if we're doing this as prescribed, we've got those feet nice and wide. We are walking this all the way out, getting that chest to the ground, pushing back up without snaking or worming, so leading with that torso, and then reaching all the way back at the top. So good job here on these walk the floors, as long as Noxie approves and allows. Next, what I'd like everyone to do is let's go ahead and grab a light dumbbell if you have one. By light, I mean 10 pounds or less, 5 kilos or less. If we don't have a light dumbbell, then any other light common household item will do. It could be a shoe, it could be a water bottle, it could be a pillow, it could be a teddy bear. Whatever the case, we always start super light before we go heavy, if at all. So with this light object in hand, we're going to do some dumbbell deadlifts with the object starting between the feet. And let's go ahead and have twin 1 demonstrate 2 deadlifts for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then those deadlifts are going to start like this. So let's everyone join in And let's do 10 reps of the deadlift, 5 with each arm. So a couple things to keep in mind. That object is on the ground in between the feet. And we're going to start the deadlift with those hips low. The only difference there, Bird Dog, is we've got both heads of the dumbbell on the ground each and every time. And so we're going to start with that dumbbell on the ground, both heads on the ground, and we are going to drive with those legs, getting all the way back up to a fully standing locked out position, shoulders back at the top. And we also want to make sure that we've got those eyes up. We're looking straight ahead so that we have a nice neutral spine there, not rounding the back. And so good job here on these deadlifts. And finally, we're going to do some strict press. And let's go ahead and have Pippi demonstrate 2 reps of the strict press for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then the strict press is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reps of the strict press together, 5 on each side. So one key detail here that's very important is how are we holding the dumbbell? We're holding the dumbbell from underneath and we are pressing it up. Why do we say this? It's very common to have sometimes people holding it from the top and then you're pulling it up. So that's not what we want to happen. We want to make sure that we are firmly holding it from underneath, pressing that up, getting all the way up, elbow pointed forward. And we want to have nice and slow on the way back down, elbow pointed forward the whole way. So good job here on this strict press. Well, that is it for the activation phase. Now we're going to move on to the movement prep, which is where we're going to practice specifically the 2 moves that we're doing in today's workout. The first move is handstand push-ups, which look like this. So as we can see, this is a very high skill body weight movement. And if we've never tried a handstand before, let's not try one right now. We actually offer private coaching that will safely help you step by step to get upside down. But we're going to go through a number of different modifications and options that also serve as a progression to get to the handstand push-up. And so the first option that we have is straddle pike push-ups. And let's go ahead and have Bird Dog demonstrate 2 straddle pike push-ups for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then what I'd like us to do is actually do some overhead press with both arms like this. So let's everyone join in and let's try this straddle pike push-up. Now it could be that, I was doing the incline push-up in the warm-up and that was already very challenging for me. If that's the case, then I'd like to just challenge you to use a lower level of incline maybe. If we were doing it off a higher surface, maybe we could do it off a lower surface. And so, for instance, we've got Millicent thinking about her options here. And let's see if we could find a lower surface, Millicent, to get you closer to the floor. But if we're doing the straddle pike push-up here, we've got those feet nice and wide. And we want to think about forward then back. We're rolling forward, then pressing back. Now, the next option would be a box pike push-up, and we could use a chair for this as needed. Let's have Bird Dog demonstrate 2 reps here. And once again, please do not try any of these options if you do not feel comfortable or have not been coached privately, you can do the straddle pike push-up maybe, but this box pike push-up, it would be better to under the supervision of a coach in a private session. But as we can see, Bird Dog has benefit from the private instruction that helps her to safely and efficiently perform this move. So if you've been coached on this move and you feel comfortable doing it, let's get a couple reps here. If we're doing this from the seated position, what I'd like you to do is to grab one dumbbell and we can do some overhead press like this with the one dumbbell. And if we're still working on those incline push-ups, maybe we can get an even lower surface and see what's possible here. But looks like we got twin one, getting the head closer to the chair there. And the idea on these box pike push-up guys is to get those hands as close as we can to the surface while still getting the full range of motion. So let's get that head to actually touch the ground there, Bird Dog. If we have to move the hands just slightly more closer, there we go, boom. And if you want to have some type of pillow or something like that for head protection, that's also a good idea as well. Now, it could be that, hey, I've been doing this program for a while and I feel comfortable kicking up into a handstand, which is Pippi's case. And so you want to make sure that your hands are going to be placed about an elbow distance away from the wall. If you want to spot that real quick before you kick up, that's usually a pretty good idea to see where your hands are going to be. So you get your elbow on the ground and then you see that distance, from the fingertip to your elbow. But Pippi knows where that is. And so she's going to put those hands on the ground and then kick up fast, getting the heels to the wall. And at that point, if you feel comfortable doing handstand kickups, you then maybe want to try some negatives, which is lowering your head down, even if you're not pushing back up just yet, but we're kicking up into that handstand and doing these negatives to a distance that we feel comfortable doing. And then if you're doing this from the seated position and you want to try now 2 dumbbells overhead press like this, that's going to be the full modification for the handstand push-up from the seated position today. The second move that we're doing is dumbbell power snatches. So let's go ahead and grab that dumbbell and let's go through some progressions and some movement demos on the dumbbell power snatch. And let's look on as twin one demonstrates 3 power snatches on the same arm. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the dumbbell power snatch is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 power snatches, 5 on each arm. So a couple things to keep in mind. That dumbbell is going to start on the ground, both heads of the dumbbell on the ground, and we are going to use the power of the hips and the legs to jump this up and punch that back. And so we are jumping that dumbbell up, punching the bicep into the ear. And it could be that, hey, this is a lot of jumping and landing, which is fine. We can choose to do the muscle snatch instead, which is where we do the same movement without as much jump and land, but we're still getting the benefit of the powerful hip extension. So we're using those legs, using those hips to power this up and get that bicep into the ear at the top. And so good job here on these power snatches. Well, now it's ramp up time. If you've been earning badges and you'd like to add some weight to that dumbbell to do either the scaled, intermediate, or RX weight, then let's start to gradually add some weight, doing about 3 to 5 practice reps at a time on each arm until we get to the weight that we want to use for the workout. But if we have not been earning badges, or we're just getting back into this after a long time off, then please, let's not add any weight. That super light dumbbell that we were just using in the warm-up is going to be more than enough for today. Seriously, it's very important that we have the right form and consistency with all our habits, as evidenced by earning that badge, before we've earned the right to add or reintroduce intensity, such as by adding weight or going fast. And whether we're adding weight or not, let's pay close attention to the following checklist. Number 1, please make sure your device is fully charged or plugged in, so we can get through this whole workout without losing you. Number 2, let's grab some water. Let's take a sip. And let's make sure we got our water nearby so we can take a sip as needed all throughout the workout. Number 3, I'm going to give everyone a 3, 2, 1, go countdown. And that's how you can synchronize your timer with mine if you choose to use one. Number 4, music. Super important, especially today. We want some jams that are going to keep us focused. And this is more of a sprint workout here. So what are 2 or 3 fight songs that are going to help you to get through this as efficiently and as intensely as possible? You can blast your music as loud as you want, as long as you can still hear me helping you throughout the workout. And lastly, how are we keeping track of these rounds? This is a 5-round workout. The reps are starting high, they're going low. There's a lot of moving pieces. We're going to be upside down. It's going to be easy to lose track of things. So let's have some type of system to help us know where we are without getting lost. And the best way to do that is having the workout written down, just like Millicent's over here, our teacher's pet award of the day. Bird Dog, very close second place. We've got Pippi ready digitally, and we've got Twin One as well, of course. Let's go ahead and take a teacher's pet picture here just to show how prepared you are. So, teacher's pet picture in 3, 2, 1. And then just want to highlight, of course, DNA's wonderful handwriting award as well. I'm going to bring the workout back on screen one more time here, and then we'll get going. So in just about a minute, we're going to start this timer. And we're about to do this descending ladder workout of handstand push-ups and dumbbell power snatches. We're going to be doing 15 handstand push-ups and then 15 power snatches, followed by 12 handstand push-ups and 12 power snatches, then 9 and 9, 6 and 6, 3 and 3. On the handstand push-up, let's not get upside down unless we've been coached in private sessions or semi-private sessions. If you want more details about that, please message me directly. Be happy to give you some details about that. But we have lots of different options here. If you want to try that straddle pike push-up from the ground and you feel comfortable doing so, we could do push-ups off the ground, traditional push-ups. Or if we're doing push-ups off the incline, then I want to challenge you to go on a slightly lower surface today and maybe see if we can crank out some lower push-ups getting closer to the ground. Now, if you are one who has been coached and is working on that handstand position, but not quite able to do the handstand push-up yet, then I'd like you to do at least 3 handstand kick-ups to start each round before switching to the push-ups to finish off the rest of the set. And those 3 kick-ups will count as your first couple reps of the set on the handstand push-ups. And you know who you are. If not, please message me about some private sessions. Power snatches. These are total reps here, so it's going to be 15 total reps. This is not each arm, this is total reps. Now, you can either choose to alternate each rep, switching left, right arm each time, or I recommend banging out at least 3 at a time on one arm before switching. And that's going to be a good amount of push to go fast, but especially allow you to rest that arm, especially if you're using a heavier dumbbell today. So your score is going to be the time it takes to get through these 5 rounds of descending reps on handstand push-ups or whatever push-up version is good for you. and power snatches. So if you are good to go, give me a thumbs up over here and we'll get this started. I'm going to give us a 10-second countdown, and then I'm going to highlight 50 to get us going. So here we go, guys. 15 handstand push-ups, 15 power snatches, and then 12 of each, and then 9 of each, then 6 of each, then 3 of each in that last round. Starting in 10 seconds. Let's get ready. 3, 2, 1, go. And we are off on these handstands, 4 handstand push-ups. So we've got Pippi with some level of assistance there. We've got twin 1 as well. And notice how as we push up, we're pushing the head through like a turtle. And we've got Bird Dog as well working on those kick-ups, and she has been making lots of progress there. Iron Man Dean flying through the straddle pikes. Millicent working on using a lower surface there. Let's just get those arms tucked in closer to the body there, Millicent. Let's get the elbows pointing back and get the arms tracking closer to the chest. And that's going to be a much stronger position. But we are working on these 15 reps here, guys. And after the 15, we're going to move on to that dumbbell. We've got Iron Man Dean on the dumbbell. We've got Millicent on the dumbbell. So let's use those legs. Let's jump and punch. Getting that arm into the ear. So we got Pippi deciding to alternate after every couple reps there. And let's keep those eyes up at the bottom of the rep. And there we go. And we've got twin 1. Also repping out a couple reps before switching arms. So nice work here, guys. Love to see everyone challenging themselves with the weight on that dumbbell. See everyone breaking out some bigger dumbbells here. And let's keep using those legs there, Dean. Really jump that up, punch that back. Dean done with the round of 15. Already moving into the round of 12 on these handstand push-ups. Pippi as well. Just about getting ready to kick up into this round of 12 on these handstand push-ups. So nice work here, guys. This is definitely a sprint of a workout today. We've got some higher skill movements. It's a shorter time domain. And as you guys know, in this program, we have all different types of workouts. Some are longer, some are shorter. Some have higher skill movements. Some are just simple sweat fests. But they are all needed to help us to really push ourselves to step outside the comfort zone. And we got Dean on this round of 12. Let's really use those legs, punch it up. Pippi as well on the round of 12 snatches here. Keeping that close to the body. Keeping the eyes up, especially at the bottom of the snatch, because we want to keep that back nice and straight. And so Bird Dog finishing off the handstand push-ups off the chair, the pike position, before moving on to that dumbbell. Nice work here, guys. And then twin 1 going the distance, doing all of these handstand push-ups, or doing some negatives here to finish off the set. Moving on to that heavy dumbbell. And just like that, Pippi moving on to this round of 9. Iron Man Dean as well on this round of 9. Working our way down. I'd like to challenge you, Dean, for the round of 6 and 3 to possibly find some type of chair to do the pike push-up off of. You know you're capable. And we got twin 1 finishing off that 12. Bird Dog moving on to this round of 9. Let's stay focused here. Keep that arm locked out. Boom. Getting those heels into the wall on these kick-ups. And here goes Pippi On this next round here, taking a deep breath, full focus. Millicent as well, making our way down. Bird dog getting into position for these box supported handstand push-ups. So notice how she's adjusting her hands. We want the hands as close as we can to that surface, that box. That still allows us to get full range of motion, getting the head flat on the ground, pushing back up. And now on these dumbbells. And we are making our way down here, round of 6, round of 3. We got Dean flying through this, Pippi flying through this. And let's go, let's go, let's go. Twin one with the fancy dismount. Moving on to this dumbbell. And we know what to do as we cross that finish line. We hit that button, we yell time, we cheer on our family. So let's keep racing toward the finish here. Hitting those handstands, hitting these snatches. And Pippi on what looks like this last round of 3, kicking up into that handstand. And last 3 snatches here. Boom, boom. And time for Pippi toward the lower end of this target window. Ironman Dean not too far behind. Nice work here, guys. And we got Bird dog finishing what looks like a round of 6, about to move on to the round of 3. Millicent working our way down. Remember, legs first, Millicent, then arms. So let's jump with nice long arms and then punch at the end. And there goes Millicent. Twin one finishing what looks like a round of 6 before moving on to the last round. So let's cheer on Bird dog here, guys, and twin one. There goes Bird dog across the finish line. Twin one kicking up here.
Woo, let's go. Finish up, you guys. You're almost there.
Doing all these handstands. Moving on to this dumbbell for the last 3. Boom, boom, and pow, there goes twin one across the finish line. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, that was exciting as always. And now we're at the best part of the workout, which is the cool down stretch. And this stretch helps us to fight soreness, increase flexibility, so we can come back day after day, staying consistent and committed. So the first stretch we're going to do today is the scorpion stretch. That's going to be where we're laying face down, arms out to the side, and we're going to get that left foot going right as close as we can to the right hand like this. And while we're here, let's hear some high-low buffaloes. And let's hear first from twin one. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we're going to get that left arm up and pull to the right like this. But what is your high-low buffalo twin one?
My high was the dumbbell power snatch. The low was the handstand push-ups. And the buffalo was, I like that I could switch to something else. I did a couple of negatives when I started getting a little tired. So it helped me push through to keep going. So good thing I could do that.
And that is the power of understanding all the options, being coached in private sessions, and remembering all the options that you've been coached on that allow you to keep building skills while, of course, pushing to get through the workout. Let's go ahead and switch to the other side of this scorpion. Got the other arm out to the side, twisting the other way like this. And while we're on this side, let's hear from Team DNA. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we're getting the right arm and pulling to the left like this. But what is your high-low buffalo DNA?
So I enjoyed the dumbbell power snatch. The low was obviously the handstand push-ups. So need to somehow work out how to do those. Buffalo, as always, doing it with this fantastic group.
Yeah, mine was the high was the power snatches, low the push-ups. I was trying to do it from the sofa, so it was an interesting challenge. But that was also my buffalo, that I was able to do them from the sofa. So, yay!
May indeed. I'm glad that you challenged yourself as well. Step outside your comfort zone. Would I'd love to see more footage of it, but I also know we're working on getting outside that shell. But good job, both of you guys, for really pressing those boundaries and trying new things. Let's go ahead and switch to the dragon here. And while we're doing the dragon, let's remember what we talked about at the beginning of the workout. What is my why? Why do I need fitness in my life? And we are privileged to have a Fit Crew family full of hundreds of members who are motivated to dig deep and continually understand their why. And let's hear from Pippi. You've been doing this program successfully for some time now. Why is fitness important to you in your life? And if we're doing this from the seated position, we're going to twist toward the right, holding on to whatever we need to.
It's important to me because I really see every day in my life what happens when you become inactive and you don't move and you don't really stay fit. So I consider this my anti-aging program, because it really does help in every aspect of my life. And obviously I have to care for myself as I'm caring for others. And so it's just extremely important that this is part of my self-care, because it helps me to be a stronger and better caretaker.
Thank you for those genuine words, those true words. And I'm sure those in your care are very much appreciative of all your efforts and for the fitness that you're able to bring to help care for them even more lovingly and effectively. Let's go ahead and switch to dragon on the other side. And while we're on this side, we're always love to hear from Millicent, really a column, a pillar of our Fit Crew family, and she continually thinks about her why. Why is fitness important to you in your life? And if we're doing this from the seated position, we're now twisting toward the left, holding on to whatever we need to.
Hi, I'm Millicent, and fitness is very important for me because it allows me to live a good life. It allows me to do things that I probably couldn't do, and I've learned how to do since I've been with the Fit Crew. It allows me to have the mobility. It allows me to be stable. It keeps me from stumbling, and it certainly helps when I have aches. I don't have all of those popping sounds like I used to. So I'm so happy to be able to do this because it just gave me my life back. So I really appreciate being able to keep up with my fitness, and it's very important for that reason.
Those are some powerful words, Millicent, and so thankful that we can have a part in helping you to feel this way and to help you live your best life on your own terms. Well, that's our WOD, that's our stretch, that's our high-low buffalo. You know what's left, this sweaty selfie, because does this count if we don't take this selfie? Let's flex on the camera here, guys, and let's take this selfie. Sweaty selfie in 3, 2, 1. And crazy face. And fist in the middle for the cheer. On 3, 2 claps. Fit Crew. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Fit Crew.
Fit Crew.
Thank you guys so much. If you enjoy this program, then please give this channel a subscribe, a like, and a share. Thank you very much and see you next time.